Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another rewatch for you guys. I know there's been a lot of rewatches on the channel recently, but I'm looking to do some variety of content, and why not rewatch some really epic scenes from films and stuff like that we've already seen. You know, it's just, we're here to have fun. That's what it is. Today I'm checking out, to me, one of the greatest scenes from the X-Men franchise there over at Fox before, of course, the buyout from Disney and all that kind of stuff. And that is the James McAvoy Professor X and the Patrick Stewart Professor X coming face to face in that small, epic, great scene from X-Men Days of Future Past. I am so excited to watch this again. It's been a while since I've seen the film. I remember seeing the film opening night, and I was blown away by this scene, and I was like, holy shit. Like, of course, they teased it in the trailer or whatever, but regardless, it was so cool to see how it unfolded and how emotional it was and how impactful it was on both of them kind of talking to each other. It's just such a good scene. And what really drew me into this movie, besides the fact X-Men Days of Future Past, which of course, they're not covering the exact telling of the story from the comics, but the fact they were doing a version of it, it was the fact that they got the original cast, some of the original cast back. Because a lot of people like the fact they rebooted with First Class. First Class, I liked it, but I really missed the original cast, and they brought them back, and I was like, yes, so excited. And I was happy, but I wish there was more of the original cast in this movie. But regardless, here we go. Let's check out this amazing epic scene, and let's just enjoy this emotional journey that the same character goes on, talking to himself.
Look past me. No, I don't want your suffering. I don't want your future. Look past my future.
Look past the ball.
Look for your future.
Look past the ball.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
I think it's a nice visual thing of where he's waking up where Wolverine would be. This is the only time I think that the original cast and the new cast were on set, was this one time, I think, from what I understand. Like the original cast was wrapping on shooting, and then they had the new cast coming in, and this is the only time that they were ever really together.
Charles. So this is what becomes of us. Eric was right. Humanity does this to us.
Not if we show them a better path.
You still believe?
Just because someone stumbles, loses their way, it doesn't mean they're lost forever. Sometimes we all need a little help.
Oh, I'm not the man I was. I open my mind, and it almost overwhelms me.
You're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And Cerebro knows it.
All those voices. So much pain.
It's not their pain you're afraid of. It's yours, Charles. And as frightening as it may be, that pain will make you stronger. If you allow yourself to feel it,
So good.
embrace it, it will make you more powerful than you ever imagined. It's the greatest gift we have, to bear their pain without breaking. And it's born from the most human power. Hope.
I love this. God.
Please, Charles, we need you to hope again.
Love that shot. Such a good scene. It's so impactful. I mean, the whole point about 70s Charles not wanting to use Cerebro because of the fact that it's so much It's like, no. Cerebro knows it, and it's their pain you have to bear and not break. And the whole point about hope. And it's one of those things where you don't really think about it, but it's like, because when you think of Professor X in terms of like just base level, there's a train. I don't know if you can hear that train. I have a train nearby. They always come through at random times. Is that when you think of Professor X, you don't think of his journey up to the point of being that character, being the guidance for the rest of the X-Men. And what I think they did pretty well is showcasing, first of all, this is what becomes of mutants if we don't show the humans a better path, which is what we're trying to do now. We're trying to change the past so that the future can then alter and change as well, which ultimately, of course, we saw how that, but then everything, all the timeline shit started happening after this, we don't know. Not important. Important thing is, Charles at this point needs a better path. And who gives it is himself from the future. And even though everything was dire, the mutants were dying off, the Sentinels, everything, Professor X, Patrick Stewart's version, still had hope. And that's what he's trying to distill upon himself earlier. And I think it was a smart way for that to happen, because if that scene never happened in this movie, I don't know how they would have wrapped up the things the way they did. It would have wrapped up differently, in my personal opinion, because if Charles would have never linked up with Logan and then got to see himself, I don't know if it would have worked the same. It definitely would not have went the same way. What do you guys think of this scene? Like, for me, it's one of the best scenes that they've ever done in an X-Men franchise, in the X-Men franchise. Maybe it's you. It's cool, but not as important. But I'm curious to know, like, what do you guys think of overall of X-Men Days of Future Past? The intertwining of both future original cast and then past new cast. What do you think of how they handled it? And overall, the scene itself, what are some of your highlights from this scene particularly? I think it's really just helping himself. It's really just telling his younger self that, you know, yes, there's going to be pain, but if you know, it will, if you really, I don't know, it's just such a great scene. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm saying at this point. I'm just rambling. I just love the scene. It's so impactful, and I really, you saw me get really into it, and I got like emotional at a point. I'm like, God damn it, this is so good. God, why couldn't most of their stuff be like this? You know what I'm saying? Because at a certain point, they lost this in a sense. So, like I said, what did you guys think of the scene? Let me know in the comments section below, guys. Thank you guys for watching the rewatch. Talk to you guys soon.